No, that's at the end.
Okay. That was our official greeter, Z, the young Valkyrie. And welcome to episode 52 of Mob TV. Let's see who's here. I see Awesome Dan. I see Davina. I see Jeanette in the middle of the night on her end. I see Mel. Let's see. Craig. El Assassin. Yes. Villain, how are you? Welcome, everyone. Dolly's here too, beside us. Say hello, Dolly.
Hello, everyone.
You're supposed to go, hello, Dolly. Yes, let me put the... I did that just while I was doing this. I'm gonna just adjust this just a bit. All right. Let's start. Good morning, Sarah. So I'm going to say good morning because it's morning my time, and you can make it for whatever time zone you're in. All right, let's see where we are. Has it shown up on your side? Because I still don't have it on my end, baby. YouTube Live. Okay, so it's been requested you say hello again for our YouTube audience, please.
Okay.
So go. Say it. Push this S. Hello.
Hello, welcome to episode 52 of Mob TV Coffee Watch.
Oh, awesome. Say hello, how you doing? It gets better each time. Gotta do this. Yes, awesome. Okay, she knows what she's doing. Yes, Davina, she does. I hope you're all doing well today. My body is sore because I was fighting waves. It wasn't even like yesterday. It was day before yesterday, was it? Yesterday? 2 days ago. Wow, it feels like it was yesterday. I lost a day somewhere this week, trust me. And so, yeah, so my body's sore from jumping waves with Z. All right then. Jeanette's like, I'm in where's the coffee time zone. All right, so let's do our quick announcements and shout outs. So shout out to everyone on YouTube. Hello, YouTube people, family. Hey, how are you? Welcome for being here with us. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Don't forget that if you're on YouTube or you find us on YouTube, go to Bitten Peaches on YouTube. I think it's Bitten Peaches or Bitten Peaches Storyteller. And like, subscribe, and share. So after you subscribe, there's a little bell. Hit the little bell, and you'll find out anytime we have a show. We're also on Instagram at Bitten Peaches. I didn't put any posts this week. I was giving it a little bit of a rest, but I'll keep posting regularly. So find us on Instagram at Bitten Peaches. Let's see, ZAZZLE. Are we gonna get any new ZAZZLE swag soon? I'm talking to our ZAZZLE director, who's beside me. Any new ZAZZLE swag coming? Yes, I'm told yes. Good. So go to ZAZZLE. Our store is M&S. Not the letters M&S, but the word EMANDES. But they represent M&S, Monty Strong. So go to ZAZZLE. Hello, Joe. Hello, Laura. I'm going to be saying hello in between. Yes, Wave Rider, Dan. We have a new patron, right? Patron? That's what we say it? Patron? Our new Patreon supporter, patron. Thank you, Jacob Anderson, for supporting us on Patreon. Awesome. Let's see. It's the beginning of July, so I am scheduled to write a newsletter. So I will pull one out this month. I always say that, and somehow the weeks get by. But I definitely will put out a newsletter because there's a lot of things happening. We're on BookBub, so follow me on BookBub. And do we still need people on Binge Books? We still need people on Binge Books. So go to Binge Books, find me, join, and add your reviews, please. So yes. All right, so we'll carry on as we go through this. So how are you today? It's we're in the middle of, it feels just like summer. So yesterday and today, it's been, Wednesday was a really nice day. We had a great day on Wednesday. That's the day we went to the beach. And it was awesome. Yesterday was kind of it was overcast and rainy, and it started still raining. So let's see. Jeanette says she misses Peach's Instagram posts. Yeah, I have to put up some more posts for the posts on Instagram for sure. Dolly's putting up the links, so you can go. The amazing Dolly is putting on links for ZAZZLE to get yourself some swag, and on Bebo. We call it Bebo because it's Binge Books, but it's Bebo for us. Go to Binge Books and find me and click on the link and follow and leave a review. Let's see. I like that. All right. Yeah, Matthew McCartney is gonna sue me if I go. All right. Let's start the Mob TV Cafe Clutch. Yeah. All right, so as an update, we have our red shirt winner. I don't know if Kathy is here on the Mob TV. I don't think she's here right now, but if she is, she can say hello. Let's see. Davina wants to know what Binge Books is. Is it a social media? Is it a review site? It's not. No, it's a place where you find books to read, basically. It's not social media. It's not like Facebook. Binge Books is basically a site designed to help readers find new books. So you just go there, you can find authors. I'm on there, John's on there. There's a lot of authors you know are already there, Davina. So you just go there. How would you describe Binge Books? Like Amazon, in a way? Huh? Oh, it's like Goodreads? Yeah, it's a little like Goodreads, without the negativity, I think. So how do you post reviews on Binge Books is being asked, Dolly.
You join, you make an account.
You join, you make an account.
Go to the author page.
Go to the author page of the book you want to review. I guess you leave a review there. Yes? Correct. I'm told that's correct. So, Dorina says, my husband might say we can't afford for me to find more books. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's been years since I walked into a Barnes & Noble, but every time I walked into a Barnes & Noble, I will always say, I'm going in, I'm just going to get one book. Yeah, one carton of books is more like it. Yeah, you just have to join first, and then that's it. But it's not a social media site in the sense of like Facebook. Jeanette says it's like Goodreads, but better. I know the people who created the program, which is why I'm part of it, and they're trying to make a very good experience for readers. So it seems I don't really frequent Goodreads too much because there's a lot of negativity on the site, for what I've seen. And on binge books, like I'll go on and I'll check out the site, check out the authors and things like that. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, Goodreads is a site that's owned by Facebook. Who owns Goodreads? Amazon. Amazon owns Goodreads. Goodreads is a site created kind of for the same purpose, Davina, for readers to find authors or writers. But it had already been created before Amazon picked it up, so there was a lot of baggage. Binge Books has been started from the ground up with the emphasis on connecting readers and authors, but in a positive way. So it's been good so far. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really go on, I know my stuff is on Goodreads, but I don't really go on Goodreads too much. There's no such thing as one book. Yeah, the Discworld, all of the books of the Discworld count as one book. How's that? Or Monty Strong. I've been told, a reader told me that Monty Strong, even though it's a series, is really just one book. I know Davina made mention of that too because the series hasn't ended. So it's an interesting perspective of seeing Monty Strong as one book or as one story, one very, very long story. So yes, yeah, and it's owned by Amazon. I don't leave reviews on Goodreads because authors really can't leave reviews on stuff because Amazon gets touchy about bias, and if you leave reviews as an author, it almost looks like you're doing a favor. If I leave a review for another author, it's almost like, am I expecting a review back on my stuff? So Amazon gets a little touchy about authors leaving reviews. They can flag your reviews and remove them. Yes, Lord of the Ring is one book, but Lord of the Ring was released initially as one book, and the publisher told Tolkien, you can't release this as one book, it's just too big, and they broke it up into 3 books. But it is one book. It is one book. And I think Monty Strong, the whole series, could be one book. If you read it from Two Millions and Butterflies to Requiem, it could read as one long story. You just, just gonna have a little bit of space in between the books. Craig says, do not think of it as one book, think of it as a TV episode. Yeah, it can be episodic or serialized in a way also, for sure. Yeah. Like Mel, one book to rule them all. I don't know if Amazon is poisonous. What's the difference between poisonous and venomous? Poisonous is if it
Poisonous goes to your bloodstream.
And venomous goes where?
Venomous goes into your body, into your...
Yeah, I know there's a difference between poisonous and venomous. I don't know if Amazon is either. I know it's dangerous, especially when you want to get one book or one of anything. It's just so much there. Dolly's, I think, is looking up the difference between poisonous and venomous. All right, so let me give you some updates on the audiobooks. Requiem is going to go into production in August and should be out at the end of, I'm reading my notes here, end of September for Requiem. So that's pretty cool. Kevin does an amazing job. Those of you that listen to the audiobooks can attest to this. So... poisonous is what you touch or eat. Venomous is what's done by a creature. There you go. If it bites you and you die, it's venomous. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome. Not that you're venomous, Jasmine. We're just discussing between being venomous and being poisonous. So Dolly says, enemas is applied to organisms that bite or sting to inject their toxins. That sounds like enemas. So I'm not gonna, whereas the term poisons applies to organisms that unload toxins when you eat them. There you go. Difference between venomous and poisonous. See, things you learn on the Mob TV Cafe Clutch. Davina says the problem with really big books is that they're very hard to read. My hands get tired. It's definitely positive with the Kindle, but I do like real books. I had that problem with a few books. Stephen King's The Stand. Terry Brooks, Sort of Shannara. They were just because I read those as books, not digital, not ebooks, and they're big. So it's like you're holding this tome, and so yeah, it could definitely be like that. Whose birthday is it today, Malcolm? Oh, is it Jasmine? Jasmine's birthday? If it's so, happy birthday. I'm pretty sure if I haven't said happy birthday, I'll say happy birthday. We don't really do birthday announcements in the mob because it's so big. But I always try to say happy birthday to those of you that know. I'll send a birthday wish to people privately. It's like, hey, happy birthday. We don't really do it in the mob too much. I know other rooms do it, but then we'd have to assign someone to do that because there's no way I'm going to do that for every birthday of every person. So, but happy birthday, Jasmine. And Dolly wishes you a happy birthday. Let's see what else we got. Oh, okay. Divine Intervention, which is the next Monty and Strong, should be done. It goes to final edits the end of August. So I'm figuring it'll be done by the end of August and should be out end of August or really, really early September. There's a little secret project that only very few people know about that's being worked on. That should be kind of mid-August. You guys will get a kick out of that project. I'm not going to even say the name or make any allusions to it. Nothing. Because it's a secret project. But when it comes out, even the people that are going to do the art for it, because there will be an art for it, they will be sworn to secrecy. So no one will know about this project until it comes out. But it comes out mid-August, and it promises to be a lot of fun because I'm having a lot of fun writing and reading it. Linda's watching from her supermarket. Awesome. Pick up some shopping for us too. Let's see. Davina says, my joint problems mean I can actually dislocate my fingers or wrists trying to hold a book that's too heavy. Real books can be dangerous in your case. Yeah, so I like Larry. Larry says, I'm on art and I take bribes. Okay. No bribes. No. It's going to be a secret project, trust me. It's going to be, secret project within reason. Come on, it's us. So, but it'll be secret. You're going to be sworn to secrecy. And I will know if you speak because the project is very specific. So we'll know if there are leaks. So, yeah. So speaking of being sore, so I was in the beach on Wednesday. I didn't even go to the gym this morning because my body is sore. And I was telling Chris, I remember I used to go clubbing many eons ago. I would go clubbing all night, right from the club, go to the beach and hang out at the beach all night, sleep in, stay at the beach all day in the waves and the sun, then go out clubbing the next night and be okay. Now I try that, you're going to have to come visit me in the hospital. I'm wrecked from a few hours of being at the beach. It's incredible. Let's see. Craig, hashtag secret keepers, Instagram. Yes. The reason we got on Kindle was because we were running out of space in the house for the books. It was just getting out of control. So it was one of the main reasons we got on Kindle. Malcolm says to Larry, I can see you getting blocked for I'm on the art and I take bribes. You got to be careful with what you say now because Facebook is picking up on the algorithms are picking up on certain words. False leaks are definitely okay. They're called red herrings. Definitely, Larry. Sure. You can definitely do that, LD. And each art copy has a different code, so we will know. That's right. We're going to make this so no one can share. Let's see. I prefer, if I have to pick, I'm going to pick electronic books, even though I love actual books, only because it's convenient. That's the only reason. But other than that, I like having actual books. But again, for us, it's a space issue. So there you go. Oh, I should make one. See, that's what we should do. We should make different art versions with different endings. And then so if someone leaks an ending, we know who it was. So Laura, yes, MNS in August, end of August, early September for MNS, for the next one, for Divine Intervention. Good morning, Mary Beth, welcome. Yeah, new MNS in August, and after that, Sepia at the end of October. So the fifth and final Sepia book will be the end of October. And then I'm not going back into that world. So enjoy that one, because I think that's where that whole story ends. Let's see what else. Yeah, the comma code. So to comma or not to comma. I don't know what it is with me and commas. At this point, I think I'm incorrigible. So I extend all my apologies from now until the end of time for all my missing commas, for sure. And yes, you can be a comma chameleon. That was a good one, Janet. Who was the one that did the Rick roll? That was a really good one. I think that was Mary that did a Rick roll with one of the coffee situations. Let's see. Davina says release will have 5 different endings, but tell people there are 6, and everyone goes crazy nuts trying to find the non-existent 6. I'm gonna do that for sure. Nice one, Dolly. Incommensurable. That's a good one. I can barely say it, but okay. An art heist. Oh, jeez. We can do Ocean's 14. Ocean's Book 14. There you go. Oh, we comma in peace. Exactly. If I comma, then Davina's going to feel out of sorts because, the commas have to be found. So it's like, it has to be that way. And there you go. So how are you guys doing? I mean, how's everything going? It feels so long. It's really interesting because it feels so long in between the mob episodes. It feels so long, and at the same time, it feels like this was just a few days ago, our last mob TV. So how are you all doing since our last get together of mob TV? That sounds good. Yeah, barring my body soreness and my inability to go to the gym, other than that, I'm doing pretty well. I was contemplating. I saw a picture of myself earlier today. I was pointing it out to Dolly of not having the beard. I might go back to the smooth look again. We'll see. It's a little bit of maintenance, but we'll see. Let's see. Davina says, "Nah, my nemesis on that is a guy called Adam. He's my DM, and Carla has to read his things for me to protect my fragile mind from his spelling." Yeah, one thing I try to always get is spelling. I may miss commas and apostrophes, but I do try to make sure the spelling is correct, unless it's a word I'm creating. Is there going to be a booster for COVID? My second shot is on July 14th, which is the day before my KDP interview. And Dolly's like, "You need to move the date." And I know she makes perfect sense because she usually does when it comes to things like this. But I don't want to put the shot off too far. And according to our local CVS, whatever these places are, there's no other date. So I'm going to get the shot on the 14th and hopefully not get any crazy side effects so I can do my interview on the 15th with Amazon KDP. But if I get crazy side effects, I will still do the interview and I'll be deranged and delirious. I'll be like, it'll be a KDP interview for all time. Who wrote the Vampire Files, Heather? And welcome. Good morning. Yeah, my second job is next week, the 14th. Jeanette. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. Oh, I see. There's a booster for flu season. Okay. But Craig is here, not in the UK. So, Craig, there's a booster. You need to take a booster also? I'm wondering if it's... I haven't really done the research on the booster. Oh, P. and Elrod is a very good author. Yes. Yeah, but Davina, you have pre-existing stuff going on, so I could see you getting ill from both jabs. Yeah. Yeah. Trust me when I tell you, I don't usually go in the whole vax or anti-vax. People want to have their own opinion. This is my opinion, okay? I had COVID March of 2 years ago, right? Because it's at this point it's 2 years. 1.5 years, right? Because time flows differently for me. Been hanging out with Sid. Anything that you get as a side effect from the vaccine is better than the actual disease, okay? That's just my opinion. That's my personal experience. You can take it or not, but that's just where I stand. You're free to say that you don't want to take it because for whatever reason. I'm just letting you know personally what I went through for 3 weeks. Fever dreams and oh my God, it was just, I lost a lot of pounds too. I lost weight. I lost like 30 pounds. I lost a lot of weight. I'll put it like this: after that, and I did a call with John Logsden. And he looked at me and goes, "Whoa, what happened to you?" Because I had lost so much weight. My face was like really drawn. And so, yeah, if you can, this is again my opinion. If you can, get the shot because it's better than getting the disease. Okay. Let's see what we got. I thought it was over 80s. Oh well, wouldn't be surprised if they act clinically vulnerable. So that's, yeah. You just have to listen. Again, make an informed choice, really. And I don't recommend that you get the disease. So if you can do something to prevent it, then do so. The Montezuma's Revenge Diet Plan, I don't recommend that, Craig. I don't recommend that on anyone. I don't think you should take that one. So hopefully I don't get any ill effects. For me, one, because I only got like I got soreness of the arm from the first one, and I felt like I was coming down with the flu for a few days, but then I recovered pretty quickly. But really, I don't want to get any effects from the second one because I have this Amazon KDP interview the next day, and it's a long interview. It's not like this 15-minute thing. It's an hour long. The KDP. The KDP interview is an hour long. So there you go. I don't want to be there for an hour of feverish, drooling mess, not knowing what they're asking me and not knowing how to answer. So that's the primary reason I don't want to have crazy effects from the second jab. So we'll see. I'm taking, what am I on, the Pfizer? I took Pfizer, right? Yeah, I'm on the Pfizer one. I took the Pfizer one. So maybe I didn't get many effects. And I know Dolly's like iron lady. So she got them and it was like nothing happened. So she took the jab, she got the jab and nothing happened. So out of all of us in the tribe, only the youngest Valkyrie isn't because she's under 12. But everyone else is. I was the last one to get the jabs. Let's see. Yes, Jeanette, we're gonna make the KDP. But see, it's not like we did for binge books where we can all come and invade. This is a one-on-one interview with someone from Amazon KDP, and basically they record it and then they put it up on YouTube. So we're not gonna be able to do what we would usually do, which is the mob just invades. It was so funny on binge books because I started looking at the screen and it's like, everyone is pretty much from the mob here. Okay. So there you go. But that's not going to be possible with the KDP interview. It's more of we're just going to watch it. I'm just going to get interviewed and they'll put it up on YouTube and I'll make sure that we can put it up. They'll give me a version that I can put up at the mob. And maybe we can put it up on our YouTube channel too. So let's see. I got most of the side effects from both jabs. Malcolm says prone and bedridden for days both times. Yeah, I can't do that. So I'll opt for just getting a sore arm. That's it. And then a fever. I don't mind the Friday. On Friday, if I'm wrecked, okay. But Wednesday, Thursday, I gotta be okay. And again, no real side effects from most of you. Yeah, Chris, our resident technomancer, is letting us know KDP is a recorded video only. So there's not going to be any, it's not what we're used to, which is our active participation like what we do here. It's recorded and then we'll be able to look at it afterwards. But I'll make sure to shout out the mob I'm going to make sure I shout out the mob in the interview. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I had fever dreams, Davina, during COVID. So I'll take the shot being sore for a day or two and fevers. over what I went through with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If it could be a mob interactive experience, that would be awesome. But I don't think KDP is equipped to deal with it that way. I don't think they want to hold their interviews that way. I think they want to have a different kind of interview where it's like you go on a one-on-one kind of thing, like what Chris is saying. It's a one-on-one thing. They will read questions that I think you can submit. So if you can submit it, if you register, you can submit questions and they'll read it because they will allow that. But they won't allow active or interactive participation. So no derailing, basically. Yes, which the mob will definitely do, which is okay because that's the way we do it. So submit your questions, they'll read your questions, and then I'll answer them. So yeah. Right, it's like a masterclass. Yes, the masterclass is basically you sit there and you listen to the instructor. I've been taking a masterclass recently with N.K. Jemisin. She's really good. And Margaret Atwood, also really good. I took the one with Neil Gaiman. And there were a few others, David Baldacci, mostly writers. But there are a few awesome masterclasses. One with Gordon Ramsay. And that one was fun to watch because they go through a whole bunch of craziness. Derailing is fun, but I don't think, Jasmine says derailing is fun, but I don't think Amazon would be okay with derailing it. All right, who has to go? Laura has to go. Bye, Laura. Have a great weekend. Thank you for visiting and popping in. Mary Beth asked me if I've listened to any of their interviews. Yes, I listened to the one, Jonathan Yanez did an interview, and he sent it to me. He sent me the link, and I watched, and I listened to it. It's fun, you know. I'm going to try and make it a fun interview. It's long for an interview, so I'm going to have to kind of try and make sure that it doesn't become like Bueller, like boring. So I want to make it interesting. But it's a good format. Listen, I'll do it. It's fun. I'm used to it with doing the mob TV, so it's a different way of doing this, but I think it'll be fun. Yeah, Jonathan writes really well. He has The Hunters for Hire, which is a new series. Forgotten Mercenary, I believe, is his military sci-fi series that he writes. So pick that up. If you haven't heard, I don't know if I should be sharing this. John is working on a new series also, John Logsdon. You want to pick that up. Nazir Noor. I mean, if I'm going to sit here and mention all the writers, we'll be here for a 2-hour episode of The Mob. We have a lot of authors in The Mob. Kimbra, I believe, is releasing a new series soon too. Or it hasn't released already. So there are a lot of authors in The Mob that have new books that are coming out. Let's see. Dan is asking a question. And yes, Chris, I agree. It's a great way to learn about an author. Dan is asking a question. Here's one for everyone. Do you have a particular favorite scene from an M&S book? Short. Mine was Nana's Phoenix Fist scene. Yeah. But that has now been knocked off its perch. What knocked it off its perch, Dan? Yeah, I know Jonathan personally, Giannis. He's a great person and he's a really good writer. So, yeah. Yeah, The Alchemist Heir. Right. So, Kimbra has released a new series. Pick that up. So, yeah. Chris says we can do a Zoom FB Live special show with all the authors in the group. That would be an awesome show. It would have to be long, too. Because authors have been known to talk. Just saying. Just putting that out there. And a 2-hour mob episode would be a bad thing because, Cynthia, it wouldn't. It's a matter of bandwidth and uploading because you have to upload this to YouTube and, yeah, it gets kind of hinky. The Reckoning. Yeah, the Brady Bunch on steroids is what it would be. So, Dan, which scene knocked off Nana's Phoenix Fist? That's what I'd like to know. Yes. All right, so Kimbra's book is out the 13th. John is working on... So, okay, speaking of secret projects, John is working on a secret project, and I can't tell you anything about it, but when he releases it, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's an awesome book. I got a sneak peek, and I told him to stop everything else that he was doing and write that story. So you're going to have a lot of fun. Get ready for that one, because John is, he's writing a really fun book. My most memorable scene is when Peaches goes XL and basically says he has to dumb down his... That's a really good scene, yeah. Shoot It Harder was what grabbed me by the feels. That's really early on. That's 2 yards and butterflies. I'm trying to see if what my most favorites. It's hard to pick one. I can tell you the scenes that gave me like whoa moments. Like I'm trying to remember where it was when Michiko makes an entrance after they think that she's dead, and she comes in. She was strung up. I'm trying to remember don't ask me to tell you which book it was in, because it's just so many. When Monty comes back for Simon and walking the razor, that Evers is telling him he's all alone, and Evers is telling Simon he's alone, that Monty left him, and Monty you just hear Monty's voice, and it's like, no, he's not alone. Awesome scene. Anything with Dex in it, so like when Dex first appears and he's like half naked, that's like awesome. So pretty much any scene with Dex in it. The interaction between Dex and Nana, that's really good. There's so many scenes that it's like, yeah. But that last, if I'm gonna think about recent ones, in Requiem, when Simon is dealing with Carlos and the way he deals with him, those are really good. Those scenes are really good because Simon is flexing without really having to flex. So that was a lot of fun. But the ever scene when she tells him that he's alone and you just hear Monty's voice, that was like, whoa. That was like a movie scene, so that was a lot of fun. No, it doesn't. You can talk about Requiem because it's been out for a while now, since May. So if you haven't read it by now, you're gonna get something spoiled. What is it? Let's see. After Monty comes face to face with Shadow Company and threatens to unleash his full wrath and tear the plane asunder. Yes, that is an awesome scene because Monty was not joking. I liked when they threaten Roxanne and Monty's like, I'm gonna have to kill you now. Basically, it's like, yeah. The Aura scenes are really good too because the Aura character is such a great character, and the way she just smacked him upside the head, like, get with it already, you know? So yeah. Yeah. When who is it? That's Tank, Jasmine. When he doesn't check the guest list, the vetted visitor list. Oh yeah, the corridor. See, okay, when Peaches is killed, any scene where Peaches appears to have a demise is dangerous for me because, yeah, the mob reacted badly to that scene. But that time, let's see, the first time was when he got launched into the Thames, right? Into the Thames. And that looked like he really died. And boy, did I get responses. I got a lot of hate PMs from that. And the second time, people kind of saw, okay, we get it. This isn't really real. This is kind of a thing Simon's going through. But still, don't mess with the dog. Yeah, Monty would raise the earth. You mess with his family. Yeah, those are great scenes. It was good to give Simon a bit of the limelight in terms of that, Darren, where he kind of beats Carlos before calling him old. He called me old. Did he just call me old? So yeah. The parking garage of the Moscow with Iker. Yeah, that was good for sure. Oh no, Davina, that scene hasn't been written yet. That's a scene that you want to see. It's different. That's a different one. Yeah, I can't see. I wish I could use that, Jeanette, that we will wick you if you mess with the dog. But I have a feeling that if Simon makes any kind of reference to John Wick, I might get letters from legal representation of the people who represent John Wick. So, yeah. Oh, here's a great scene. The scene when the Moscow is frozen and Bangers and Mash appear, arrive on the scene, and they're telling Simon and Monty, like, okay, you guys don't know what you're doing, step aside, why don't you go across the street, we've got this under control. That whole scene of Bangers and Mash meeting Monty and Strong is awesome. I like that scene. Is fantastic. It's funny, and it's supposedly not funny, but there you go. Yet. Oh, the Simon and Dex face-off was really good. I had to make sure that it was believable, and Dex is really, I haven't really shown, I've alluded to how powerful Dex really is, but I really wanted to kind of kind of give him a little bit of room so that Simon can see really how powerful he is. And with Nemain and that little scene where Dex is going to try and eliminate Simon, but it's really a test to make sure that he can do what he needs to do. Yeah, that was a good scene. But like I said, any scene where Dex makes an appearance immediately becomes better because Dex is just a great character. Jeanette says we need more bangers and mash. I agree. We need more bangers and mash for sure. I haven't heard the Audible. You have to start giving me the code so I can start actually hearing these books, because I haven't heard the Audibles of any of the books past the first 15 minutes that Kevin gives me. But there's so many books I have to listen to, you know? Malcolm asks, when does a movie, pop song, etc. enter popular culture instead of copyright? John Wick being mentioned in passing. That's a good question. I don't know. I think while it's still a viable franchise, like John Wick is being worked on in terms of movie 4. So to say something like, oh, you touched the dog, I'm going to have to wick you, that could be dangerous because the movie is still current. So I don't know if there's a statute of limitations in terms of time, Malcolm. But I'd rather err on the side of caution with something like that because Wick is very well known. So it's things like that. And it's not like Sherlock Holmes, which is in the public domain. I could say things about Sherlock Holmes without having to worry about it because it's so old. Wick is not that old. So there you go. Yeah. So Craig says Dex is dating a threefold goddess and he is not a pity date. For sure. Dex is no joke. Dex is really, really powerful. Let's see. When do you start seeing Dex really cut loose? Probably around book 19, book 20. That's when Dex things start really getting end game dangerous. Asking me to narrow down a favorite scene is like asking which child is my. It's true. There's so many, and sometimes I'll read. What was I doing? I was doing some research for one of the books. Oh, I was doing some research for Divine Intervention, and for Divine Intervention, Master Yacht is in it, right? You guys have seen the snippet. So I was reading Wander because Yacht makes these appearances, but he hasn't really been in any one story for long, except for No God is Safe, I think, or what is it? No, The War Mage. That's what your Yacht really is featured. That's when you first see Yacht. So I'm reading Wander. Next thing I know, I'm like 4 chapters in because the story is so much fun. And this is what happens. I get lost into this, and it's like, you know. Dan says, all we need now is a scene with the man. I've missed a couple of the clash recently, so I'm just checking him in. Yeah, Silk isn't going to appear for much later. I can't really tell you why he's going to appear, but you will see him. Oh, Dolly says Ursula versus the Morn. Yeah, those are all fun scenes. Ursula is a great character. Ursula, and also she makes an appearance in Divine Intervention. She's there in the beginning, and she's probably throughout the book because there are a lot of things that are going to happen in Divine Intervention that are going to require Ursula. So yeah. Craig says if it's treated as pop culture reference and not fanfic, you should have no problems. Okay, you know what? I'll look it up because I'm sure there's some legal reference to it. Only because I just don't want to run into any kind of legal situation. Like I make references to Star Wars and Star Trek all the time, and that's not an issue. But Wick might be an issue, so I don't know. Let's see. David Davina says, I added to the Jessica scene, it's Dex's tree, and the Morgan has trapped Jessica's soul in her immunity by, so she can't die, and she's with them for Christmas then. Yeah, Davina, okay. I get the feeling you don't like Jessica. I'm getting this vibe. Really? Are Frank and his human going to be coming up more? Yes, his human has a name. I can't tell you. I can't. I can't spoil that one, but the answer is yes, Nikki. Frank will be coming up more. Frank is going to be making more of an appearance in Nocturne Melody, which is the next Night Warden book, which is slated for later this year or early next year. Jeanette says, so lots of damage in the Divine Intervention. Yeah, there's going to be lots of damage in Divine Intervention. Malcolm, I think Davina only likes Jessica slightly less than Michigo, so that's okay. We need a second string appearance like Ezra Second. Ezra Second is Maury. Oh, Bangers and Mash and the Mage Protective Services. You know what? They get them all together into one story, so that'll be interesting. That would be interesting. What is Dolly saying? Let's see. The dive scene with Gray. Oh, there's so many good scenes of Gray in the dive. Which one? Specifically one. Oh, Simon, Jessica, and the poor red shirt. Oh, yeah, that was a good scene. I always like writing Gray. Gray, I think I was telling Chris the other day, Gray, the reason you haven't seen more Night Warden books come out as much as the Night Warden is only up to book 3, I think, and Monty Strong is up to book 14, is because the headspace for the dive, for Gray and his story, is a different headspace than Monty Strong. It's a darker place. So yeah, it takes a little more to get into his voice. Let's see. In my head, the scene where Dex, the 10, and Silk finally meet is going to be like an opening scene of Star Wars when I was 10. No pressure. Okay, Dad. Yeah. The 10, and they have their own story, but it just has to be written. That'll be fun. Yeah, I like writing I agree, Larry. I do like writing the red shirts. I do. Because I'm not gonna do a George R.R. Martin and kill the main characters, because I can't, because the main characters would put my life in danger. But 2, someone had made a reference that the Monty Strong books had too much death, and I was like, huh? But what I explained was that death is part of everything else that happens in these stories, you know? And so, if I'm not going to kill the main characters, but I have to kind of express that there is danger and there is death, I have to express it somehow without it being overly somber, you know? But what Monty and Simon do are dangerous things, and yes, they're risking their lives. Even though Simon is an immortal, he's not an immortal that can't die. He's just an immortal, but immortals can die. We tried to establish that, right? So, but when they told me, yeah, it's so dark, it has so much death, I was like, are you reading the same Monty Strong I'm writing? Because I don't see them as like dark death books, you know? So, but there is death in the book because it's part of the story. The things, people die, creatures die. It's just part of it, you know? So, yeah, I can't kill the main characters, but other characters are not safe, put it that way, you know? So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can't use the Imperial March. It would be awesome if I could. If I could use the Imperial March, I'll find a way that to put that into the story where they're walking in. But the reason Dex isn't part of the 10, even though he's an unofficial member of the 10, is that he's just too strong. He's just too powerful. And I think he would attract the wrong kind of attention. The 10 are already dangerous. Adding Dex to that mix it's called cataclysmic. So yeah, I don't see them as dark or death, Chris. But some people, you know, everyone has a different perspective, I guess, on the stories. People die. Everyone dies. Even gods can die. So there you go. There's death to buildings. There's death to monuments. I guess maybe if you wanna classify that as death, Monty Strong classify that as renovation or redecoration or upgrades. You know, things like that. The 24 neck slashings and decapitations in the Rule of the Council. Yeah, but see, the Rule of the Council is a darker story, Dolly. So yes, and yes, I agree with Mel. Immortals can die. Ask the Highlander. There can only be one, as Simon tried to explain to Monty. The Grimm fairy tales are scary. I was looking at them. I think I told Dolly earlier on when the kids were little that we should read them the fairy tales. And then I picked up a volume. We have an old volume of the Grimm. I started reading and I was like, that's just going to give them nightmares. I'm not reading this to the kids because they are scary. So yeah, no. Larry said the Monty Strong Urban Development Squad. That's what the Damned was for, because they're the ones who deal with the cleanup of the Monty Strong Urban Development Squad. Davina says, I don't think of them as particularly dark or death heavy. Although thinking about it, the number of blown up buildings, vehicles, etc. there is quite high. There is a quite high body count of unnamed characters. There is a high body count in the stories. It's just that, you know, what can I tell you? They leave disaster in their wake. They're making sure that, like Malcolm says, construction companies and remodelers are employed. Interior designers, don't forget, and architects. So, yeah. Exactly, Chris. Kidnapping kids, throwing them in an oven, that's not going to scare kids really that for them right before bedtime. Sure. Being eaten by wolves or things like that. Right. Oh, yes. The Light Council is going to make more of an appearance later on because Honor is a really great character, but he's a lot like Ezra. I kind of have to use him in small doses because he's just really powerful. And so, yeah, I have to use him sparingly. But Honor and the Light Council are going to come into play because of what's happening with the Dark Council and Michigo and the Blood Rule. And if you read Iker, you'll realize that there's stuff happening in the Dark Council. There's a shakeup. So there's a lot of machinations happening behind the scenes that's going to force the hand of the Light Council. Later, you're going to see a lot more of Honor. And Honor is dangerous. I wouldn't say he's Dex level dangerous, but he can hold his own, for sure. Yeah. Let's see, Dan says maybe there should be the Nana and Dex Detective Agency show M&S and Ramirez what real destruction looks like. Yeah, I don't think much would survive with a Nana and Dex Detective Agency. This is true, Elaine. It's a good point. Even Doctor Who has a huge body count, but you just have to, it's a kid's show, but they don't make an overt representation of it, but it's big. Yeah. Exactly. It's the Dark Council, not the flowers and tea. Exactly. So let's see. Wow, it's already, oh my God, where did the time go? Jeez. I got to start tackling the questions this week because we've got a lot of them. People are trying to give Audrey a run for her money, especially Malcolm. All right. I'm going to start tackling questions early. So I'm not going to be able to see the feed because I'm switching to a different window where all your questions are. Oh, and to answer the question of the image on the post, that is the question. A different version of the question. I always put an image of the question on the post. So that is a question. And someone got it right. The DC Justice, it's a different kind of the question because the question is usually male. This is a female version of the question. So that's the name of the character. That's why the face is a blank. Okay, we're at 58 minutes. I know, it went by so fast. Okay, first question. Malcolm is featured in today's asking of questions because Malcolm really writes a lot of questions this week. Malcolm asks, how many hours do you spend pondering the witchness of why? The answer to that is who. There you go. Next question. If one of your characters could be physically manifested in our world, who would you choose to meet? And let's see, banning Ezra as an answer. Yes, we can. If I meet Ezra, it's all over, right? So, wow, if I could manifest one of the characters, geez, that's a good question, Malcolm. I can't pick just one because there's so many of them that I'd want to meet. So aside from the obvious of Monty and Strong, because I'd want to meet them, I think the next would be Gray, for sure. I'd want to meet Gray. But then I'd also want to meet everyone from the Warriors of the Way. And yeah, I'm going to say all of them. That's my answer and I'm sticking to it. So there you go. Let's see. Malcolm again. Not that we will let you stop writing, but what would your perfect retirement look like be? See. All the kids are grown and are well taken care of. They're all, set in their lives. And I'm somewhere where it's 70 degrees all year round, near a beach, and with internet access so I can keep writing. And I don't get hit by hurricanes every year. That would be ideal, an ideal retirement. And that way Dolly can have the beach all year round. Okay? Let's see. Hey, Wendy, welcome. Manifest peaches. Well, that goes without saying. So Larry says manifest peaches. Yeah, for sure. All right. Malcolm says, if everyone meets Ezra in the end, will Ezra meet Ezra? Oh, kidding. We'll be seeing more of Maury. You will be seeing more of Maury. Ezra can meet Ezra because Ezra is the end. So, yeah. I'm not riding on a safari. I'm riding on a beach or somewhere near a beach. and I don't fish. So somewhere near a beach with a large body of water so the kids can visit and swim. And Dolly can have water nearby. She likes swimming. And the temperature has to be nice all year round. 75 to 80 max. Okay, here we go. Mel asks, Monty's order, is it named or an actual group, lodge, or order? It's the Golden Circle. So I don't know if you're asking something else, Mel. But Monty's order is the Golden Circle. That's where he trained. He's a battle mage trained at the Golden Circle. Audrey asks, Dolly, what book have you read more than once? And Orlando's don't count. Dolly?
Jane Austen books and Terry Pratchett.
Jane Austen books and Terry Pratchett. That's it? Okay, that's it. Audrey, Audrey, this is Audrey's second question. What is the most difficult aspect of working for yourself? In the beginning, it was being self-motivated to get things done. But right now, there's really no hard part of it because I'm so used to doing it. I've been working for myself since, late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, so I'm used to it by now. Yeah. So there's no real. I think the hardest part about that is, like Chris says, everything stops with you. So you can't pass the buck. You've got to be able to take responsibility for everything. So there you go. So I would think that's the hardest part of it. If you can't accept that you are where everything stops, you're gonna have trouble. So you have to understand that aspect of, in any endeavor, whether it's writing, because I'm writing, but we also have a business, a publishing business, right? But I also had a sign business and other stuff, that I was my own business. I had a dojo with Dolly. So we had businesses. We've always had business. I've always had my own businesses. Since my late 20s, early 30s, I've worked for myself. So about 20 some odd years. So I'm used to it by now. Okay. Yes, as Jeanette says, looks like the question from DC Montoya. It looks like her. Yeah, it probably is her. This is referring to the image on the post about the event. Malcolm also asks, I can't find where it was asked before. Are we going to see more of Elias Pern own series? Yes, you will. Elias Pern Magical Protection Services. But that's not for a long time for now. But yes, it will help. It will happen, Malcolm, for sure. Malcolm asks if you've read Dr. Seuss, which is your favorite? Green Eggs and Ham. I used to read it to the kids every night. Green Eggs and Ham. All right, so Mary Beth asks, out of all the characters you have created, do you have a favorite? Who and why? That's like which one I would manifest in real life. Jeez. All right, Larry, take care. You should go get some sleep. Jeez, really, this is, not good for you to be up without sleeping. Go get some sleep. And thank you for being here today. And say hello to Tammy. Out of all the characters I've created, my favorite would have to be the reader favorite is obviously Peaches. That's one of my favorites because he's the heart of Monty Strong. But I will also have to say Gray because he's such a dark character. I love Monty Strong, obviously, but Gray is the one that I feel the most affinity towards. So I would have to say Gray in terms of for that question. So because who would be Gray and why? Because he is a darker version of all the characters. And so he has the most contrast between light and dark. Yeah. So that would be the answer to your question, Mary. And I think that's all the questions. I hope I didn't miss anyone's question. So if you have a question, I'm sorry, I did miss one question. Oof. My intro person just pointed it out to me. To the Valkyrie, do you like comics? And if so, who is your favorite character? The Valkyrie is here to answer, please.
I do like comics, and every character is my favorite character.
That's a lot of characters. Yes. Thank you for that answer. Okay, let's go back to the regular feed. Is the feed frozen? No, it's still here. Okay. So, yeah, in terms of the character, I would have to say Gray because it's hard to explain. People when people read The Night Warden, even though they love Monty and Strong, I get a lot deeper references and messages from the people who read Night Warden because they can relate to Gray more than Monty and Simon for some reason. So when I write Gray, like I said, it's always I'm in a different headspace, and so that's why. But yeah, I would have to say Gray. Jeanette says, will we be seeing the effects of Dragon's Blood on Simon in the near future? Yes, you will. Yeah, Nikki, you should read the Night Warden. There are only two right now. It's Wander and Shadow Strut. And I'm looking at, because they're in my bookcase over here. Yeah, but you should read them. The third one will be out sometime early next year, which is Nocturne Melody. So yeah, it's a different kind of story, but it's in the Monty Strong world. And Gray makes cameos all over the place. So Gray is the kind of character where I won't write the actual book, but he'll pop up everywhere. He was in the Rule of the Council. He was in Walking the Razor that Gray appeared last? I think he was in Walking the Razor. I know he was in a recent Monty Strong book. So Gray pops up everywhere. So yeah. But that would be the character that I most closely relate to. Which is weird. You would think Monty or Simon or one of the others, but Gray is really the one that, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't explain all the intricacies of why. Yeah, Gray is like Ezra. I have to use him carefully. Yeah, for sure. Like Ezra, we all know that Ezra's death, so Ezra has to be used sparingly. But Ezra's also a great catalyst, you know? Yeah, the Night Warden explores the choices involved in being dark. And not just the choices involved in being dark, but the choices in the part of being dark when you actively choose to be that way. Because Gray, it wasn't an accident. He did what he did because he felt it was necessary, but he did it with the full knowledge of what he was doing and accepting the consequences of it. Like, he was okay knowing that he was going to die because of what he did. And that's what makes him such an interesting character. Exactly. Dark doesn't mean evil. In this case, he did something he felt was right. And so I won't say Gray is an anti-hero so much as he's like a flawed character. And he does fall within the anti-hero heading because, you know, he never really wants to go help people except unless they're people from that he feels that don't have a voice. So I've always structured it this way. Gray is the guy who takes care of the people on the street. Right? He's the one that's deep in the trenches. Monty and Simon deal with things at a kind of a higher level, like the city and, you know, a different kind of threat. Their paths intersect often, but not always, you know? And then Gray has no illusions about what it means to be dark. So, like, he knows he's dark, he accepts that he's dark, and he's okay with it. Whereas Monty is still kind of like Davina said, Gray is almost where Monty is. 4th of July, I know there's a lot of explosions over there during the holiday. So, which part was that, Malcolm? The part with Simon and with Gray? Right, yeah, exactly like Mel says, doing things that could be considered bad or dark, but for the right reason. So Gray wouldn't be a classical villain, because he's not, but he definitely gives off the Punisher vibes, Craig. I agree, yeah. And the Punisher, if you know the mythos of the story of the Punisher, let's say when he comes across Daredevil or any of the other characters, no one really likes the Punisher, but no one can argue with his methods in terms of effectiveness. So it's like, you know, Gray's pretty much there. If I had to equate Gray with a comic book character, it would be closer to like Batman. You know, he has a tragic story. He kind of does things his own way, and he'll do what he needs to do to get it done. You know. So Gray is okay. Gray actually, here's the thing about it. Gray strides both worlds, right? He's basically in the light world because he has associates like Honor and Monty and other people like that, but he's also on the dark side too. He knows the darker aspects of the world that he lives in. So, and he's okay being in both worlds. That's the thing. So it's fun writing Gray. It's just that it's harder writing Gray. Bye, Audrey. Have a great day. Yes, Davina. And I'm sure Terry Pratchett, so Terry had a great time writing Granny Weatherwax. I love reading her stories. She was a lot of fun. Gray reminds me a lot of the Patrician, too. You know, that kind of character where he does what he needs to do, but he's not exactly nice about anything. Oh, okay. So, yeah. I thought I was getting a signal from this side. It's just my assistant was looking at me like, she was like, awesome. So, yeah, so the Patrician's like that. The Patrician will do things that need to be done, but he's not exactly a nice guy, you know? What makes Gray's story now, well, that was intentional, Mel. But Mel says Gray's name by name and by nature, which is intentional because he is light and dark, right? But what makes Gray now interesting is the fact that Coda is part of his life. Because Gray was fine being alone. Gray was fine being on his own. But now, yes, exactly. I just say I get to say my assistant, but it's really like my partner and sometimes the CEO of everything. So Coda makes him accept his humanity, and that's the hard part because for a long time he was denying that. So there you go. Davina says, light one side, dark the other. They face into the light and step backwards. Exactly. Yeah, that's really what it is. Jeanette says, a sad fact about dealing with humanity, there needs to be that big stick because sometimes the only thing that will work will hurt someone. Yeah, Simon is learning that with Master Yacht sometimes. Sometimes the best way to learn is pain. Unfortunately, that's the way humans work. That's a good name for your kitten, Chris. Gracie. Awesome. Wow, oh man, that's it. We're at the end. It goes by so fast, guys. In the beginning, I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And then at this time, it's like, there's so much more to talk about, you know, and it goes by so quick.
We've had technical difficulties, so
well,
10 more minutes.
We didn't have technical difficulties.
Sure we did.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. Yeah, Coda is a great add to Gray because she humanizes Gray and she makes him think about someone other than himself. So he can't wallow in the self-pity of I'm going to die. He's got to take action. And in Nocturne Melody, I'll give you a quick spoiler. Coda gets kidnapped and he's got to take action. So it's going to be interesting because Coda's no pushover. Chris says, wait. Yeah, Craig says there are two wolves inside of you, and sorry for the transporter malfunction. Yeah. Yeah, technical difficulties, and we should extend the show. I think when we started the Mob TV, weren't we longer than an hour? We were close to like 2 hours. When we started, we would go almost to 2 hours, but it got really hard to upload it at 2 hours. So that was the spoiler alert for Nocturne Melody. If you missed it, I'm sorry, but I'll say it real quick. Coda gets kidnapped in the third book. And he has to do something, yeah. So, but I can't say any more than that because there's a lot that leads into that. So, I'm sorry you just lost your feed. Oh, hello to all the people on YouTube watching. Thank you for being here with us today on Mob TV episode 52. We have our person closing. She's going to be coming here soon to close because we're going to start our weekend and, you know, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. If it's raining where you are, stay dry. If it's scorching heat where you are, please stay cool. Now 8, awesome. If it's scorching heat, please stay cool. I know, at least here in the U.S., it's been bad lately. You had some really record-breaking heat towards the west side of the country. So if you're in that area, hydrate and stay cool. We are still in the midst of a pandemic, even though there's a vaccine. So, again, wear your mask, social distance, please take care of yourselves. Our closer is going to close out the show. Please close out the show.
Goodbye. Have a good weekend.
What episode has it been?
Episode 52
Okay, and...
of Mob TV.
Awesome. What is it, the cafe what?
The Coffee Clutch.
Awesome. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the day, rest of your weekend. Another quick congratulations to Kathy for being our next red shirt. Great question, Jeanette, because that was it was so hard that we waited a week and no one could answer it, and then we had to put it out in the mob, the general mob, and then we got the answer. So that was a great question, Jeanette. So thank you for asking it. Congratulations to Kathy for answering it and becoming the next red shirt. And we got to inform Kathy that she's going to have to form the next question for the next red shirt. So again, thank you guys for being here. As always, it's awesome. I really wish one day, once we have Peaches Con, we can just hang out for like a day and just drink coffee and have great conversation and just hang out with each other. So as always, be uncommon. Bye guys.